Hello, greetings to everyone. Welcome to this tutorial. Today in this tutorial we're going to be looking at Pythagoras theorem. I am Sir Godwill Yakum. Now I'm going to present to you the theory, the Pythagoras theorem, and the essentials, or what you have to know about the Pythagoras theorem. Now this theorem was stated or was postulated by a scientist who was from a country known as Greece, the ancient Greece. His name was Pythagoras, and he invented the Pythagoras theorem during his studies in Egypt. In his theorem, he stated for the right-angled triangle, which must be a triangle of this form, with a right angle here, and a right angle signifies an angle of 90 degrees. He said for all triangles like this, the longest side of the triangle is given the name hypotenuse. So I call this hypotenuse. So I can represent it with capital H, my hypotenuse. Now, depending on where I place the angle theta, let my theta be here. Now the side that is opposite to the angle theta is known as the opposite. I replace it with O. I represent it with O. And now the other side, which is adjacent to the angle, is known as the adjacent. I can replace it with capital A. So this is the statement of the Pythagoras theorem, or this is the representation, not a statement. This is the representation of the Pythagoras theorem. Now, the statement of the Pythagoras theorem goes thus. He said we can equally try to give this the longest side. We can call it C. We can call this one A, so that this one will be B. In this case, C represents the hypotenuse. Pythagoras now said, he said that the square of the longest side, which is the hypotenuse, is equal to the square of the opposite plus the square of the adjacent. What am I saying? Hypotenuse squared is equal to opposite squared plus adjacent squared. But now we are representing the hypotenuse with C, so C squared. The opposite with A, so A squared. And the adjacent with B, so B squared. Therefore, this can be reduced to C equal to the square root of A squared plus B squared, and this is the Pythagoras theorem. The statement of the Pythagoras theorem is that the square of the longest side is equal to the sum of the squares of the other two sides. So this is what the Pythagoras theorem is all about. But now, in case we have another triangle like this, provided this is the right angle here, we can still place our theta here instead of this. In this case is here. If our theta is here, this one will remain the hypotenuse, but the longest side is the hypotenuse, but the opposite now is here. We are looking for the side that's opposite to the angle, so which is going to be here, and the adjacent will now become this one. So we now see that the opposite and the adjacent will alternate depending on the position of the angle theta. Solved example. Let us see some solved example. Solved example. The question says, given that the base of a right angle triangle is 3 meters and the height is 4 meters, find the hypotenuse. Find the hypotenuse. By this question, for us to solve it, we need to start by drawing. We draw this right angle triangle. We draw it out. We indicate the right angle. And the next thing now, let us now fit in the value for the base, which is 3 meters, and the height, which is 4 meters. So this is what we are calculating, which is hypotenuse. Now from the Pythagoras theorem, we have that the hypotenuse squared will be equal to 3 squared plus 4 squared according to our equation. So it's going to imply that the hypotenuse is going to be equal to the square root. Is that true? The square root of 3 squared plus 4 squared. We just fit as in this formula. And so we are going to have that the hypotenuse is equal to the square root. 3 squared is 9 and 4 squared is 16. So the hypotenuse is going to be the square root of 25. And the square root of 25 is 5. 5 meters is the hypotenuse. Whenever you have a beautiful answer like this, it is always wise to enclose it in a square. That means you can box your answer. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, here we come to the end of our tutorial on Pythagoras theorem. So as of this moment, you should not have any worry as it pertains to Pythagoras theorem. This is the statement of the Pythagoras theorem: c squared equal to a squared plus b squared, and from there implies c is equal to the square root of a squared plus b squared. Thank you for watching this video and see you in the next video. God bless you.